We are
Or if you
on.
need to get up and go to the bathroom.
I'll be back. I'll go to bed.
All right.
Yes, it is.
Listo?
We're a little crooked. Is that less crooked? All right, and we are recording right now, and this is what it looks like to go live, unedited, totally raw video.
I'm not looking at you. I'm looking at the camera.
Just be comfortable and look both, because this is your
Okay.
audience. And get close to me. Come on, here we go.
Don't be shy.
There you go. Show that pretty much. Hello there. Thank you for tuning in to the Offbeat Business Show. This is Susan Hamilton, and we really appreciate it when you spend your valuable lunch hour with us. I've got a treat for you today. I want to share with you and introduce you to Brenda Wakefield with Hope
Hands of Choice Therapies.
And we're going to start this over now. Okay. Here we go. When you know somebody too well, you jack it up.
Yeah, that's okay.
All right. You're going to love her, though. I'll get better. Hello there. This is Susan Hamilton, and you're listening to the Offbeat Business Show. Thank you so much for tuning in during your valuable lunch hour. We sure appreciate you. And I'm going to share Brenda Wakefield with you today, who is teaching me some very important things about massage. I'd like to also mention the fact that she is a military veteran sponsor of the Offbeat Business Show, which gives her particular perks with our company. And we love that because we know that 80% of American business are family-owned businesses of 9 employees or less. And that means we are raising our children, taking care of our seniors, impacted by somebody excellent in business who brings the values and the discipline that they learned and their skill level from the military to business, or possibly could be having trouble reintegrating. And all of those things directly impact us, and we want to make this business-to-business platform really real to you. And so 4 times a year, we bring veterans that we are really thrilled about in business, that are making a big difference in our health, our wellness, our community, and we also want to share with you needs that might be met. So these conversations are important, and we believe they're very, very important in a business-to-business manner. Brenda, thank you for joining us, and thank you for sponsoring the Offbeat Business Show. We appreciate you so much.
Well, you're so welcome, and thank you for the invite.
So tell me a little bit about what made you go into this type of work.
It's not work.
Yes. I love that attitude, don't you?
Well, actually, as the owner of Hands of Choice Therapies, I decided I wanted to get away from the hustle and bustle of, as some people may say, the real world. But being a veteran and having done various jobs since retiring, I decided that, actually one day I was just watching TV, and after a very stressful day at work, because I was a director of financial aid.
You didn't have any stress doing that,
Not
did
at
you?
all, not at all.
Yeah.
But after time had gone, and it was just, I basically had enough, went home, watched TV, and a commercial about massage popped up about the opportunity, and I went and checked it out, and then the rest just became history. It took a few months. I didn't just go in the next day and leave my job. But, but once I did that and found out what massage really was, what body work really is, it is very intriguing. Prior to that, no, I had not had a massage. As most people probably, they look at massage as the spa type thing, and some you give a gift certificate for a mom, girlfriend, or something, or a special occasion.
Which I have to tell you, that's always been my perception of it.
Right.
So
you're with the majority that thinks when you hear massage, you go, okay, or I really could use one of those. But
and I've tended to think, and my attitude's changed, by the way, since we've been talking.
Excellent.
And since I've seen what you've done for my granddaughter, which I tell everyone I know, and she needs to get back to you. But, it's amazing because we are living, one of the things that we address here at the Offbeat Business Show and magazine are the fact that we are in a hamster wheel in our businesses.
Yes.
And we don't really take the time to think about the things that are really going on around that directly impact us,
right,
and our families. And how can you have a successful business like that, right, when we're always in a reaction mode?
And that's what we are, very reactive. Because most of the time, the clients that I see, It's reactive. It's not being proactive in, I need to go and take some time for myself. We are living in a society where there's stress upon stress upon stress upon stress, just from daily living. And so we expect our body to perform. You go to bed with stress, you get up in the morning with stress, and it's like, okay, let's go and keep going. But what I try to educate people on is to let them know that your body, this is a very precious vessel. You only get one shot at this. And when you take the time to stop and give maintenance to your body will perform for you much better. If you're dealing with the headaches, chronic pain, or you got neck pain, and a lot of people at times they come in and say, I got this, they want their shoulders and their neck worked on.
Oh my, oh my, oh my. It's ridiculous.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
So with that, it's just like, okay, well, let's take some time out. And most time when the time out comes, they say, I'm going to go take a vacation. Well, my definition of a vacation is when you can go and do absolutely nothing, or you can do whatever the heck you want to do. Most people take trips. It's a planned trip, or we're going to go see this, and this, and this, and then we're going to get back, jump in the car, and we're going to go home. By the time you get back home, you need a vacation.
Right.
So you still have dealt with that stress and the hustle and bustle of going back and forth. Massage is my first love, and it's absolutely amazing, the benefits from it to help you relax. It's a time out that you can take and come and lay on the table and just take yourself to the place where you would like to be, where you want to be relaxed, and just let go. But what I have found over the years is that I specialize in cranial sacral therapy and lymphatic drainage therapy. These are not massages. It is a light touch therapy. And for the novice to body work, the beauty of it too is you don't even have to take your clothes off. Because with massage, typically you come in the room and the therapist will step out so you can get undressed. We do an intake. And so you can get undressed and get up under the sheet. And sometimes I have found I have to be very explicit with my clients, let them know, get up under the top sheet and face down, and we'll take care of whatever issues that they have brought in as we've done the intake. But with the cranial sacral therapy, it is a light touch therapy. It helps your neurological system. It helps your immune system. It helps the whole body.
So, Brenda, I don't know that we've taken our conversation this far, because I understood cranial sacral therapy to be what you're using on my 1-year-old granddaughter. I didn't realize adults benefit from this. I thought that this was something that you're specifically doing with small children. So this is really opening up my eyes, because I think my brain is tense.
Yes.
I think I have brain tension.
You possibly have walked around with that tension for years, because the components of how this work is just amazing.
Do not share this with my husband, because he will say that's exactly true.
But with cranial sacral, it goes back to when your mother carried you. What was your mother's temperament? What type of delivery was it? All this has an impact on our bodies, our physical being, where we don't realize these things. Just like, baby's born, life goes on.
Well, tell our audience what you told me, and I couldn't wait to share it with somebody. You were talking about the way the fluid runs from the top of your head. Explain that the beautiful way you did, because I will jack that up.
Okay. Well, to me, it's pretty simple, but I know for the novice, it's not. We're dealing with the cerebral spinal fluid. We have the fluid is produced in the brain, in the ventricles. There's 4 ventricles up there in the brain, and it produces the cerebral spinal fluid, which it is also the cushion for the brain, because there are membranes. It's a dural membrane that covers the brain. It's 3 different layers. So within those layers, this fluid is flowing. The fluid goes down the spinal column, because this membrane not only is the brain, but it goes all the way down the spinal column. So it's a semi-enclosed system that this fluid is flowing through. It cycles 6 to 12 times a minute. That's the way that this system is made. So it's helping the body to relax. It's protecting the body, the toxins, the nutrients that the body needs. All this is within this enclosed system. So when we get kinks along the way, because another fact that most people don't know, because once again, we just look at our bodies like it's a body. We have 60,000 miles. There's 2.5 times around the world to the equator. 60,000 miles of wiring within our body.
Well, that was my question about the cranial sacral fluid that you're talking about.
Right.
I would think that has the nerve endings.
Yes, all this is the neurological impact that this is having. So if you have kinks in your wiring, then it can cause things to not function the way that they're supposed to. So if you've ever heard the Chinese term of qi, this is energy. And we have zones within our body. We have 5 zones on each side, so there's 10. But within these zones, the energy is flowing. It just naturally flows. That's the way that the body made. We're made up of energy, with this ball of energy. But when we have things that are blocking by way of dis-ease, which is disease,
Exactly. Yeah.
or dysfunction, then things don't function the way that they're supposed to in our body. So when the clients come in and they lay on the table, and as I say, they're fully dressed, they come in and they lie down, and I will start a listening process in listening to the body, just with hand placement. And I'll place my hand on various parts of the body. And as I place my hands there, I'm also listening to the body, for the body to let me know, oh, well, we got something going on over here in the hip. We got something going on over here in the shoulder. And more often than not, when I ask my clients, hey, how you feeling there? Well, what are we going to address? They'll give me their most immediate, or what's conscious to their mind of, oh, my neck is hurting. Oh, my shoulder's hurting. Mm-hmm. Okay, look, we're going to work on that. Mm-hmm. And I tell them, if I don't go to the place that you have told me is hurting, don't worry about it, because I'm going to listen to the body, and the body's going to let me know where I need to go. So if I'm asking you, well, you have something going on with your ankle, and they're like, oh, no. And I just tell them, well, think back. Was there ever any trauma, ever any injury, anything that you could think of? Oh yeah, I twisted my ankle when I was in high school.
That's interesting, because if you're working out, fitness has been a big part of my life. Mm-hmm. Since I was a hobby since I was probably 15. So I know that muscles have memory.
Yes.
Because I have gained probably 60 pounds with each one of my children. And so I'm grateful that I went into it in shape, because I was able to lose that weight. I didn't stay on me. Right. But that's a phrase that gave me so much hope and courage, is that muscles have memory. Mm-hmm. But in a negative way also, it sounds like, that they can remember way back.
When there's, say for instance, you've been in a car accident, you got whiplash. Your body went through the healing, you went to the chiropractor, you went to the doctor, you took your ibuprofen, all this kind of stuff. It's like, oh, well, I feel better. The accident was years ago. But I've always had this pain in my shoulder, and I just don't know what it is. Or it's just I'm sitting over a computer, and I'm hunched over all day. And when the clients come in and they lay on the table and the work takes place, the body is releasing, and there can be some minute movement. And I tell my clients, I promise you, it's not me. It's your body letting go of that tension that remembers. It remembers that accident. I had an accident myself in December, and when the seatbelt, my car spun around a couple of times before it stopped, facing the wrong way. But the seatbelt grabbed me, of course, that safety mechanism in the car. Well, that threw my shoulder into the seatbelt, and it's caused some trauma in my shoulder. So as I went through my healing process, eventually I got a cranial sacral therapy session done. And for me, that gave me the most relief from all the other therapy that I had done.
Wow. No, I didn't know adults could get that done.
Yes. It's from my oldest client. My oldest client thus far was a 90-year-old. He said, what could be wrong with a 90-year-old? Well, they
got 90 years to have all kinds of things happen.
And my youngest was a 2-hour-old infant, which was my granddaughter. My newest granddaughter, she's 8 weeks old. But it was working on her. Even that's trauma coming through the birth process.
Well, I got to tell you, that's what really impressed me so much, because I didn't know. All I knew was that my granddaughter has been through quite a bit. Mm-hmm. That's all I knew, and I trusted you from the moment I met you. And I thought, well, let's just go see. I knew that for somebody to have so much nervous movement, that I just knew in my knower that she needed that. She needed some massage, or somebody that understood that to help me understand. Well, I didn't understand really what all that was. So I thought, well, let's do this. And you watched my very tense granddaughter, who didn't want anybody's hand, and you didn't touch her. You just touched her. It's very gentle. Mm-hmm. It's very gentle. But I watched her melt and the tension go away. And before, how long were we there, Brenda? 45 minutes, maybe. Mm-hmm. And she was sleeping. And that's all that happened. There was no patting around the back, no bottle, no anything. She just started to respond and started to release. I saw that physically. And then through the rest of the day, she just was a jovial young lady until, we're going through some family things right now, and she was, kind of re-exposed to, more of a not a comfortable environment for her after that. So we need to continue and allow that healing. And I just thought, well, I'm so excited about that. Share, because people need to know what a frustrating thing as a business owner.
Right.
That's a big distraction.
Right.
When I'm taking care of somebody, and I know I'm not alone in this, I'm taking care of somebody who needs me, and that tension, it does impact my ability to focus in business.
Right.
I need to know she's okay, and on
she
top of
will.
it, the wrestling with holding her while she's not okay is hurting me. So
Mhm.
there's just I could just see all these connections going on here, and that it was going to be a very, very important message to get out to American business owners to help them understand, geez, if you go in, get some information about this, because there is, hands down, this is a resolution. So friends, we're about to go to break, and when we get back, we're going to be talking more with Brenda Wakefield. Are you enjoying this? Are you learning something? Are you thinking about giving her a call? Because if you are in the DFW area, I strongly advise it. So we'll be back in just a few moments. This is Susan Hamilton. You're listening to the Offbeat Business Show.
Sounds wonderful.
Sounds wonderful.
Wonderful.
Huh? Ready to go for part two?
All right, here we go.
You ready, Freddie?
I am.
All right.
Good.
See, we don't even
Fully
take that
clothed,
out.
huh?
You know, if you want to take your shirt off, it's okay, but you know, it's not necessary.
Just toss cold water on
No, 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 no.
And we're back. You're listening to the Offbeat Business Show. This is Susan Hamilton. I'm talking with Brenda Wakefield. And we are talking about touch therapy and how beneficial this can be to your family members. And as a business owner, you know what stress feels like, don't you? And if you're like me, you wear it right here. I wear it right in my neck and shoulders.
Right.
And towards the end of the day, if I'm wearing heels all day, I feel it in my lower back.
Right.
And I know I'm not alone with that. So I'm having this opportunity to talk with Brenda about all the things we need to be considering and how we can actually improve this area. We talked about muscles having memory and nerve endings having memory.
Mm-hmm. But even as for business owners out there, a great incentive for your employees is chair massage.
Really?
Coming into the workplace, I've done that on occasion. I do corporate chair, and the employees, they absolutely love it. They love it even more when the employer pays for it. But in more instances than not, it's a time that the employer can set aside for their employees, and they pay for it themselves.
Wonderful. So how much time do they spend in
Usually
in the
in the
corporate
corporate chair, it's about 10 to 15 minutes.
Oh, sweet.
Some of them have pushed it to 30 minutes.
I imagine.
But for the most part, it's usually the 10 to 15 minute time frame.
Nice.
And people's like, oh, I don't want to get, just totally zoned out. You're going to be relaxed, but that will still get you through the business day. It has been proven through research that it increases productivity, employers' productivity. That's one thing that you're paying your employees to do, is to produce throughout the day. So even if it's just that 10 to 15 minutes, it's going to be well worth it, not only for the employee, but for the employer as well.
Interesting how you call it corporate chair. I work a lot with residential service businesses as well. Mm-hmm. And I would think that would be a big need.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
would think when you are carrying heavy stuff and contorting your body into these positions to get to where they need to get to fix the things they need to get, that I wonder, do they ever take you up on that kind of thing? Is there an interest?
It would be
there?
lovely if they all did. I would just.
They could go home feeling good instead of grumpy.
Exactly.
That's really a great idea.
And I even had a client who used to be a truck driver. And what do guys usually put their wallets in their back pocket? And he had this pain that he has had for years, and he just was like, I don't know what it is. He no longer put his wallet in his back pocket, but somehow we got to the point that he no longer is a truck driver, but that's what he did for years. And so he came in because he had a problem in his gluteal muscles.
Okay.
That's your butt muscles. And he just could not figure out, what, it just was always there. So coming in and getting a session done, and it's not magic. It doesn't happen overnight. Yes, you're going to have some relief, but I say it's maintenance. It's maintenance on the body that the body needs. Because you get maintenance on your car, I have to throw this analogy in there. People will get maintenance on their car to make sure, because if your car doesn't have gas in it, is it going to run? Mm-hmm. No. If you don't get the oil change, is it going to run efficiently? No. So I try to
ruin something.
Exactly.
Yes.
So what are we doing to our bodies in terms of how we take care of them? So if we're not doing the things for the maintenance, then when our body fails us, we live in a society of, we just learn to live with it. Well, that's just the way it is.
Well, that was my next point. I was going to, what blows my mind is, to me, you seem just a very gentle, very peaceful woman,
Mm-hmm.
very wise woman. I know you bring a lot to the table. We've had some beautiful conversations. But you've got a military background.
Mhm.
You're one tough broad.
So they would think. I mean,
You know?
in that tenure, I was a military training instructor, Air Force,
Yeah,
which
I
they
mean,
call them drill instructors in the Army, but that's okay. But even in doing that job, I absolutely loved it. It wasn't all I knew when to get out there in your face type of thing,
Mhm.
but I also knew when to, okay, we're going to just sit around and sing kumbaya. We didn't do that, but but there were those times where you just could, let your hair down and just enjoy, but still you get the mission done in training. And it's the same way. I don't run my business like that per se, but when I'm in there and I'm on the clock to make you feel better within that 50, 60-minute time frame, I'm focused and I'm zoned in on your body as to what your body's telling me that's going on. So being able to work that, and then once it's all said and done, okay, we're good. But understanding as we go through the process that your body is in charge, not me. It's not me.
Interesting.
So as we are trained to listen, just like in the military, you're trained and you're disciplined to do certain things. Well, in this particular world of body work, I'm trained to listen to the body. And we call it the listening stations. And, okay, what's the body saying over here? What's the body saying over there? But going back to my client with the pain in the derriere,
Yes.
as I worked on him, and it was during that time that I was doing the work, because even though he didn't exactly remember as to why his butt was hurting, but as we worked through the process, it was just like, where's your wallet? And it was just, he's like, well, like I say, he no longer had it in his pocket. I said, but did you ever have your wallet in your pocket? Did you used to, sit on your wallet? And he's like, yeah. And, for some guys, their wallets are pretty thick. So just imagine, not only are you sitting on the seat in the cab of the truck, but now you have this pressure pushing on those nerves that are there for extended periods of time, for years for some people in that time. So needless to say, yes, that's going to do something to the body. So your body is screaming out. But the release that happens, and as my hand is up under the sacrum, which is the bone between the two hip bones, and my hand is up under his cranium, the back of his head, the occiput. But as my hands are there and listening to the body, I could just feel the sacrum moving. And so you have those nerves that are coming in the tissue. I don't do bone work. Nothing I do, because I'm a licensed massage therapist. I work with the tissue, the tissues of the body. So the tissues are releasing and letting go of that trauma. And it's just a beautiful thing. And it's just like, oh my God. It's like how your butt feel now. And it's just like, the person that gets up off the table, they can feel the difference. They know of the work that I've done. And usually guys are those are the people that are just, either the wife had forced them to come to there because she's sick of hearing him complain about something, or they just don't show up, or they have an issue to where, I see people that, this is the last resort. Okay, I'll try it. I've tried everything else. I might as well try this. Well, the work that I do is complementary to the other things, the Western medicine and the other things that people get done. The physical therapy, the chiropractor, occupational therapy, all those things. So when you add this caveat to the work that you're already getting done, and it's like your body saying, thank you very much, I appreciate this, and you can feel it in your body that, yeah, this was amazing, this made a huge difference. So even people with veterans with PTSD, and it's not just veterans, but there's other situations that can cause PTSD.
Well, they really can. And
Right.
Drug addiction and recovery
absolutely.
from that, rehabilitation, those things can all play,
Yes, they all play a role. Kids with ADD, ADHD. One of my young clients, I worked him on a Saturday. Worked on him on Saturday. He went to school on Monday, and he had been having some issues in school. The teacher called his mom, and she was just like, "What happened to him this weekend?" And she said, "Whatever happened," she said, "please continue," because it helps the kids focus. They can focus and zone in on studying and being there in the moment of where they need to be, instead of all the fidgeting, because their little bodies are firing and they don't know what's going on.
Well, that's exactly what I noticed with my granddaughter. That's
Right.
exactly it. They can't do the things they know that developmentally they need to
Right.
do if this distraction is there stopping them, and that I think is the point. It's
Right.
That we don't have to sit there and watch them helplessly. We can know what our resources are, know that there's something that can be done. 'Cause
Right.
we don't want to drug them. It doesn't have to be that way.
No, it doesn't.
There are alternative ways to cause your body to heal itself.
Right, because the body is inherently made to heal itself, given the tools that it needs to do so. And the work that I do is a touch therapy. It is not a massage. It is touch therapy, cranial sacral therapy, lymphatic drainage therapy. It's enhancing the immune system. It's helping the neurological system. It will help the body to decrease pain. It'll help the body to relax. And the body, these are the things that the body needs to deal with the stresses of the world, whether they're an infant that's crying all the time or colicky or whatever, to the senior citizen that's been walking around for years with pain in the neck that they just don't know how to get rid of. And my latest one a couple of weeks ago, she was 81 years old. She called me a couple of days later, said, "This is the best I have felt in years."
Yeah. Brenda, thank you so much for your service. Thank you for doing that, for getting involved with our military and taking that as a serious role in your life.
Mm-hmm.
I have so much respect for you for that. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And thank you for what you're bringing to the community with this really beautiful approach to health and wellness. I appreciate it very, very much.
Absolutely.
Friends, look forward to hearing more from Brenda Wakefield, because she will be writing a column for us every 3 months, every time we do our Veterans Push with the Offbeat Business Magazine. So you'll hear from her in September, you'll hear from her again in November, and then in May and July, when we make sure that we're sharing and spotlighting the incredible veterans in our midst. We get that opportunity, and you're going to get to learn more about this from Brenda, and hopefully more.
Absolutely.
So you can listen to this over and over again. You can share this with your friends that can benefit from them. Brenda, how can my audience work with you, and what's the best way to reach you?
I can be reached through my website, www.handsofchoice.abmp.com. or by phone, 214-380-9700. And I'm located off 635 at Preston.
Wonderful. Yeah, it's very easy to find.
Very
Your
easy to
office
find,
is
yes.
great and very comfortable. Nice office you've got there.
Thank you.
So don't be too concerned if you didn't write that down, because I'm going to have that look underneath this video, and you'll have that information down there in the description. You'll also find this next to the audio if you're listening to this in our audios. So thank you so much for this opportunity, Brenda.
Thank you.
And thank you, my wonderful business-to-business audience, and I can't wait to get back with you again. You have a wonderful day. This is Susan Hamilton. You've been listening to the Offbeat Business Show.
Okay.
Marvelous.
Now,
Thank
you've
you.
got an opportunity, what comes with your sponsorship package, to do an ad.
Oh.
To do a 30-second spot. Would you like to do that? Do you want to think about that and come back to it?
30 seconds what?
To
An ad.
to do a radio spot ad.
Sure.
Okay. Do you want to think about it for a few minutes and write it
No,
out? Or
no,
you ready to go?
I'm going to try to remember what I usually say in my 30 spots. 30 seconds. You know, you go to these networking meetings, okay, you got 30 seconds. Okay.
Yeah, it's your elevator pitch.
Huh?
It's an
Yeah, the elevator pitch. Yeah.
Elevator.
Yeah.